A 2-minute clip from The View, I believe yesterday. Sonny Hostin and Whoopi Goldberg, they're talking about Serena Williams and the halftime show and Serena Williams crip walking and what was she doing out there? Was she trolling Drake, or was this just some homage to Compton and blah, blah, blah? Let's play that clip and then we'll start our conversation.
Serena crip walking was really about what happened to her when she did the same crip walk after she beat Sharapova in the 2012 Olympics. She did that crip walk then, and it was on Wimbledon grass, and everyone said that it was disrespectful. So for Serena, because she was dancing. So she was doing a crip walk.
Disrespectful to who? The grass?
It was disrespectful. They actually, she took a lot of criticism for doing that.
Really?
And so when you look at Serena's comments, what she was doing was being her authentic self, an homage to her roots from Compton, and it was Black joy and Black excellence. You've got the greatest female athlete of all time coming out and enjoying herself. Yeah, it wasn't about Drake at all.
I don't understand. Well, why would you even think it was? Why would you think she's not
about
smart?
Drake, though.
Yeah, but that wasn't about him.
That was not about Drake. That was about... She got a chance to do something she wanted to do, and she went and did it. And instead of saying, damn, that was kind of great, you bringing it back to some old stuff that she is...
She's happily married.
She's happily married.
Yeah.
Why are you... What?
My honest 2 cents, and I absolutely love her. I think she's an inspiration to so many women. I was like, oh, okay, she's been married since, like, my husband and I got together. Why would she care to, you know, get in on this, like, dissing Drake thing? But then I dug deeper. Drake's been coming at her in songs and her marriage for years. Like, he's taken digs at her husband, the founder of Reddit.
She doesn't care.
But my point being, it's not, I don't even know that it counts as petty when somebody's been deeply petty to you and you're just clapping back.
Yeah.
You just said take the high road in the last segment.
Oh, I know, but then I got
Not when you're Serena Williams.
Exactly. But again, this was not about Drake. Serena posted on X, I did not crip walk like that at Wimbledon. I would have been fined. This was about Serena being her authentic self and being the essence of Black culture.
But why would
there was a lot of interesting things said there, but the last deal, this is Serena being her authentic self. This is about Black excellence and Black culture. Crip walking. And so it what is Black culture? How has the mainstream legacy media defined Black culture? How do the average ordinary, and let's be real about it, what does the average ordinary Black American think is Black culture? Have we all decided that gang culture, hip hop culture is Black culture? Is there a consensus? Maybe you and I are outside of that, but maybe everyone else or most people disagree with us. When I get online, I want to know that I'm safe. That's why I love ExpressVPN. They keep my personal information more private and secure. Find out how you can get 4 months free just by clicking the link in the description box below or by going to expressvpn.com/fearless. Protect your online privacy with ExpressVPN.
Well, Jason, I wanted to say something really quick on a factual point, right? Because I've heard this thing, you know, Serena's from Compton. She grew up in this area, and I get it. If you grew up in If you grow up in certain areas, there's a culture surrounding you that even if you don't actively participate in it, it's just there. I looked on her Wikipedia page. Serena Williams was born in Saginaw, Michigan, moved to Compton when she was young, let's call it 3 years old, and left Compton for Florida because her parents saw she had potential in tennis when she was 9 years old. She didn't even go, and she was homeschooled apparently by her dad. So she wasn't outside, as the kids say. She didn't even go to middle school, let alone high school. She wasn't out there with the 8 trays and the rolling 60s, and they say, oh, that's just little Serena from the block. So this whole thing where this is just part of what Serena grew up with, I find it hard to believe, knowing that she spent her formative years in Florida. So she should be doing more of the gator chomp than the crip walk. But to your question about what is Black culture, I think it depends on who you ask and in what context you ask it. I'll say it this way. When a Black artist is winning awards, let's say Beyonce winning a Grammy for her, country album, or a black athlete is winning an award or a Super Bowl, whatever the case may be, then I think black folk are like, yes, this is for the culture. This is a win for the culture. But when a hip hop artist is being criticized for the content that they put out there, for the guns, the murder, the ops, the drugs, the degradation and disrespect for women, then that same person will say, "Oh no, you can't. That's not black culture. That's hip hop. That's that particular individual." Because I think for many people, culture, and this is not unique to black folk, culture is used synonymously with norms, values, beliefs, behaviors that we approve of and we celebrate. But when it comes to things that are negative or unproductive or degenerate or destructive, that are accepted in the community, are celebrated, glorified, and commodified, then when those things are put under the microscope in a broader culture, then it's like, no, we don't accept that. We accept Snoop when he's doing something positive, when he's, coaching his Pee Wee football team. But when he's promoting pimping and porn and all sorts of degeneracy, then that's not a reflection of black culture. You can't say that. And I think that dichotomy lives in almost all of us, and certainly in the people who are talking heads and have the platforms on TV and mainstream media.
It's interesting, like, who is, as it relates to The View, and they only have so many options, but like, who's jumping to defense of Serena Williams and putting a positive spin on? I would imagine, I don't know Sonny Houston or Hostin's background. It's probably similar to Serena's in terms of probably a disconnect from the hood culture that she's trying to attach herself to now. I believe Sonny Hostin is half black, half white. Say that with no disrespect. And then
half Puerto Rican.
Whoopi Goldberg.
She's Puerto Rican.
Half Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Half Puerto Rican and half white, or half black and half Puerto Rican?
No, I think she would identify as Afro-Latina, of someone of Puerto Rican descent. Now, she's definitely got European ancestry somewhere up in there, but I think she identifies as black and Puerto Rican.
And then you have, and we could have played a clip where Whoopi Goldberg starts out the defense of Serena Williams, but this is a black woman who has intentionally taken on a Jewish identity to advance her career. So despite what you may have seen in The Color Purple, Whoopi Goldberg has made it real clear what culture she wants to be associated with while being on TV pretending like, I'm here, I'm Mrs. Malcolm X, I'm Betty Shabazz. Not true. Ask Ted Danson. She's not Betty Shabazz. She may be Becky, but she ain't Betty. and so I was sitting there stunned. National TV show that represents the point of view of women, and everybody seemed to be in agreement, like, hey, Crip walking and gang culture, no one wants to deal with the negative part of that. This is a celebration, an homage to where she grew up, and it's the excellence of black culture. Crip walking? And I'm just, can they honestly believe this? Or is this just what they have to say to survive on television?
Well, I think for them, they probably disconnect, the dance from the gang. And for a lot of times when you hear it in popular culture, they're called sea walking. So there's been a move to sort of, disconnect it from its roots. And as I said, I'm sure
they said Crip, though. They said Crip on the show.
They did say Crip, right?
Yeah.
Right. They did say Crip, but I don't think that they are actively envisioning, okay, this is a dance associated with a violent street gang. But I'll say this, and more than Serena, because I think I take it differently when Serena does it. She's a woman. She's never been in a gang, right? She doesn't promote violence or the gang lifestyle. She's just doing a little dance in the same way you could see, a white kid from the suburbs doing a dance. What struck me is the fact that Snoop Dogg, who is by far the most visible and famous Crip in the world, someone who does say, yes, I'm a Crip. Even to this day, he'd probably say he's a Crip. And certainly, in the early part of his career, that was a big part of his identity, not only popularized the dance in the culture, but Snoop is making anti-hate videos with Tom Brady. And I'm saying to myself, now, if he had got the game and you have a Blood and a Crip making a video saying, I hate you because you wear the wrong colors. I hate you because you want to take over my hood. I hate you because my dad hated your dad. I hate you because we fight in prison. And then they say, let's stop the hate. We're all in the same gang. Bloods and Crips unite. And it was paid for by the NAACP. I'd have said, okay, that's culturally productive. But when a guy who has made a legacy on associating himself with a violent street gang and has had the types of criminal charges that go with that, decides to use his platform to speak against hate, right? And I think this wasn't just hate in general. This was specifically about anti-Semitism. So he teams up with Tom Brady, the golden boy, to preach against hate and specifically anti-Semitism. I said, this is one of our problems. This is one of the problems in the culture, right? Race hate is not seen as a self-hate is not seen as a problem. Self-hate in the form of violence against one another in our own communities is not seen as a problem. It's always something external that now we got to speak against. And that to me struck me more than the Serena thing, because Snoop actually has been associated with the gang and the violence that they inflict on their communities.
Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.